Hello, friends. Happy New Year. I'm so glad that you're joining me today. If you are new to my channel, I'm Tish. I have kind of rebranded, sort of, my channel just a little bit. Tish Loves Home is now going to be Tish Loves Home in her 50s. There is a difference. There's a difference. Let's talk about some of those changes that I've got going for the new year. So I hope that your new year is off to a good start. We took a little time off after Christmas. We went on a little vacation, kind of up towards North Alabama, and we live more in the central part. So we did a lot of fun little things up there, just a little family vacation. It was really good to get away. And we've been back for a few days. So, of course, we've been doing all the, cleaning, unpacking, all of that. But I took my Christmas stuff down before we left, and I always do that when we go on these trips because I don't want to face it when I get home. But y'all, let me just tell you, I had an epiphany this Christmas. I was right in the middle of all the stuff, and as organized as I try to be, I still, every time, I get so overwhelmed. And so I thought, I've got to do something different. Our house, I'm thankful for my house, especially in today's economy with how expensive everything is. It's a little over 20 years old, and we built it, so we're the only owners. Lots of changes have happened in this house over the years since we've been here. And I do love my house, but I will tell you, and I'm not trying to be funny, this house was really not meant for little short people. It just was not, okay? Um, and none of us are very tall. I mean, my husband's only like 5'9". I'm 5'1". My girls are 5'2", 5'3". So, we're little short people. And I have a hard time doing a lot of things in this house because of its height. It has tall ceilings. Even this attic space here that's in our bedroom, I can't even pull that down. I can't even reach the rope on it without getting on a stool. And then I really have to yank it. Well, I tried to do that to get our suitcases out for this trip. I almost fell over, okay, because it's just not meant, it's hard for short people. We do have stairs. We have an upstairs, which the main thing I have stored up there that I bring back and forth down, just seasonal things. But my fall and my Christmas stuff is in the garage. It's also very tall, it has tall ceilings. And we built these storage areas up here for Christmas and fall decor. Again, you have to get a ladder to get on it. I can't do it because on the ladder, trying to lift the tubs down, it's too much for me. They're too heavy, my arms are too short, all the things. And since my husband has been injured, he has not been able to climb up and down the ladder. So we've had to have help doing that. And then I start counting all these bins that I have, and I'm just like, what am I doing? I'm not even enjoying it anymore. I know people love Christmas, and God bless you. I'm so happy that you do, and you don't mind putting up 10 trees in your house and having, 25, 30 tubs of Christmas decorations. The more the better, and I'm happy for you. I'm not that person anymore. I'm not that person. I used to really love it, and I don't think I always got a little overwhelmed when it was time to take it down, but it's gotten worse in my 50s. And so I think doing that, it just kind of made me think, okay, Tish, you are not the only one out there. I know I'm not the only one. That as we start to get a little bit older, hauling stuff up and down stairs, up and down ladders, just moving stuff, even going into my garage, we have steps. So it's up and down and up and down. And I know I'm not the only one, that I'm just to a point to where I am so ready to simplify and not to have to move things so much up and down stairs and have so much of it. And I have really been on a journey the past 5 years or so to do that. But even with all of the stuff that I've gotten rid of, and the changes that I made, I still feel like there are still things that I could do better that would make it easier for me, and more importantly, to let me enjoy the holidays better, or just living in this house better, to be honest. So I have been doing a lot of thinking and reflecting of what I wanted to do different in 2026. So I thought, I want to try to reach and help people who, maybe you're in your 40s, you could be in your 40s. I started feeling it in my 40s, 50s, 60s, where you just feel like it's too much. It's just too much. If you are and you want to come along with me this year and let's make some changes, I am going to be doing some more decluttering. I'm not going to get rid of a lot of my Christmas decor. I've done that, but what I am going to do differently is I'm just going to go ahead and put away things that I know I have not been using, but perhaps I might want to change things up one day and pull them back down, or my girls may want to use them when they get in a house. So I am going to do that. But I am going to start this year with decluttering. If you saw my video the day after Christmas, I went crazy just throwing stuff in there, decluttering, getting rid of stuff. It felt so, so, so good. And then we went on the trip. So now I'm back and I'm ready to do more of that. So, for this new year, 2026, I wanted to tell you a few things that I'm going to be doing differently. I'm so excited about it because I feel like it's going to make my life better. And then I'm also going to show you at the end of this video kind of how I transition my house from Christmas to winter. I do a few little things around, and I love this. Every year when I do this, I always feel like this is what I enjoy more. I am a person who gets very overstimulated with too much stuff. And even though I loved my Christmas decorations this year, I was ready for them to be gone, put them up, because it's just stuff. And I really like clean, clear surfaces. Visually, I don't like to see so much stuff everywhere I look. So I always enjoy January, which I know some people probably think, oh, it's so depressing. How could you like it? But I do. And I think it's just because I really like a clean house. I like less clutter. And I like the whole thing of starting fresh. It just makes me feel good every year. So, for this next year in 2026, let me talk with you just a minute before I share with you my winter decor, a few things that I'm going to be doing a little bit differently. So, number one, you need to start with decluttering. Organizing too much stuff is only going to put you right back where you started. Trust me on that. I have been working with people for about 5 years now, and I can tell you that if you don't give stuff up and you don't make room, 6 months later, you're going to be looking at it thinking, I spent all that money and all that time organizing this stuff, and I'm right back to where I started because, y'all, that's what happens. Decluttering is such an important part of the process. And, I always tell people once you start doing it and you live in it and you see how much better it is, you're going to be motivated to go back and do a second pass. Let me go through this again. I bet there's more I could get rid of. Maybe a third pass. I think I can still do more. And the reason that it's such a great feeling for me is number one, I can get to my things. I don't have to move 10 things around it and, bend and squat and grunt and complain because I can't reach it. I can get to it. It just helps so much. So I cannot stress enough the decluttering part of this process. And it is so, so important. Now, when you do declutter, you got to make some decisions about what are you going to do with the stuff. And please know that what I'm about to say, I'm saying it lovingly and I'm not judging you because I'm not living in your house. So you do what makes you happy, right? It's not my home. But from my experience, what I have found is that if you can make fairly quick decisions and you can get the stuff out quicker, you stand a better chance of it lasting and it actually getting gone. Don't make more work for yourself. Let me say that again. Don't make more work for yourself. Let's say you come along something you think, this is great. I want to sell this. That's fine. I do sell some things too. But think about how much it's worth to someone else, not to you, not how much you pay for it. Think about how much someone else is really going to pay for it. And then you've got to decide, is that amount worth me posting it, me answering messages, me deciding on how they're going to pick it up, and me getting it ready for them? There's a lot that goes into selling stuff. And you've got to message people back and forth. You got to try to meet them or let them come to your house. Will they even pick it up? I've had people buy stuff and not even pick it up, um, or say they're going to and not pick it up, not buy it. So you've got to think, is this item worth that effort? If it is, I like to sell things in bundle. That's a lot easier for me. Then you've got a big group of stuff. This is this much. Come get it. It's easier that way. But the other options, for me, one is consignment stores. We do have a few in our area. I bet you do too. You can make some off of it. And if you like to shop in that consignment store, that can be in your account and you can use that to shop with. You may not make as much from that as you would selling it on your own, but it's so much easier. Literally, all we have to do is put our stuff on hangers and we drop it off. Done. So I can handle that. So consider consignment stores. The other thing is donate it. I have several really great thrift stores in my area, and I love to donate stuff to them. It all goes to, good causes, ministries. So I feel really good about it, and I can just immediately get it out of my house. And then there are those things that just need to be thrown away. Throw it away. It's no good to you. It's no good to anybody else. Thrift stores don't want it. It's immediate gratification. Throw it away. It's such a good feeling just to get it out of your house. So you do have some options. Sell, a little more work. Consignment, not as much work. Thrift store, very little work. Throw it away, zero work. I mean, so weigh those options. But decluttering, and I will be doing lots of that on my next video. You're going to see me getting started with that. So decluttering. The second thing that I'm going to do is, I'm going to say reorganize, but I'm going to say rehome things in my house. I am going to put things in spots where I can get to them without a ladder, maybe a step stool, without a ladder, and without help from someone else. And when I want to put it back up again, I can just put it back up without having to have a lot of help. Like I told you, my house, the attic spaces are difficult to get to. I have stuff in my upstairs craft room, which would have been a walk-in attic, but we turned it into a room. Stairs, even out into my garage, steps, the storage space in my garage, ladder, all those things are difficult for me to get to on my own. So one of my goals is definitely to put things in spaces that I can easily get to. So I'm going to be ordering, I've already ordered them. They're coming in this week. These shelves I'm going to show you from Amazon. We use these all the time with clients. They are inexpensive. They are easy to put together and they are sturdy. And they also will hold just one of your standard size totes, or you can do two of the smaller ones. So I've ordered two of these. I'm going to be putting these in my garage. I'm going to be working on that soon, and you'll be seeing that video. I have a cabinet out there that I'm going to declutter. I'm probably going to get rid of just about everything that's in it. It's been in there a while. I'm not using it. Time for it to go. So the cabinet and those two shelves are going to be out there. I have a nice shelf out there that we're going to be swapping for another one that Trent has his stuff on, and the cabinet's not that great. So all of that organization is going to be taking place very soon. Probably on this next video, I will be starting that. So what that's going to do is that's going to limit my tubs for fall and Christmas. I will be able to get 5, maybe 12 tubs total on those 2 shelving units. And then I will have that cabinet for a few things. Now, some of you are going to be listening to this going, well, my goodness, 12 is plenty. That's too much. And others are going to be listening to going, I could never get it down to that much. So, listen, no judgment. You got to find your happy place. And I'm not in my happy place right now. And I found out, this year, the dining room, the entryway, those things, we don't ever go in there. Never. I've always bought seasonal pillows to go outside. We don't use those and they take up space. So those things I know I'm going to get rid of or I'm going to put up for another day. They're not going to be on my spaces on these shelves where I can get to them easier. And I've been counting and going through in my mind, and I think I can do it. The fall stuff this year, I found that I had all my football decor up, which I enjoy that. And then I went straight for just some fun Halloween stuff. I love jack-o'-lanterns and I really enjoyed using those. And then after Halloween, it was like, well, I'm kind of thinking about Christmas now. So I didn't even get out my typical fall stuff. So that's going to be something I changed this year too. And again, I'm not getting rid of all of that right now because I do like to change, and it may be a point later where I want some of it. But for now, it's going to be up, out of the way, not something I have to worry about. And I'm just going to have the things I'm actively using at my hand's reach so I can get to it. So just thinking about for me and maybe other friends of mine out there that are, you're getting a little older and you're not enjoying as much having to haul things up and down stairs or in and out of an attic or up and down a ladder, looking at some ways that I can reorganize my space to make things easier for me. So, decluttering, reorganizing for easier accessibility. That's important to me this year. And then the last little goal or thing that I have that I've really already been doing this for a while, but I see the need for it. The older I get, the more I see the need for it in my life is peace. That's going to be my word for the year. Peace in all areas of my life. I have not had 2025 for me was not a good year for so many reasons. Not a good year. And I'm really hoping that 2026 is going to be better. But one of the things I really have found out that I have got to do is protect my peace, and protecting it by how I live in this house is definitely important. Protecting it by the places I go, the people I see, the interactions that I have, very important. I made some changes on some of my Facebook settings. I'm just going to leave it at that for now. That have helped me and brought me a little bit of peace. I really have been kind of keeping more to myself the past 6 months, maybe even to a year. And I just find that if I limit some things and places I have to go and where I have to be, it does help my peace. And I'm a homebody. I will admit it freely. I'm a homebody. I do like to go do and see, but I don't want that all the time. And I'm just going to respect that in myself. And when I need time away and I need to be here and protecting that peace, I'm going to do it. I can love people from a distance, and sometimes that's better. That doesn't mean it's going to stay that way forever, but for right now, for me, protecting my peace is so important. And I've had some faith struggles. I'll probably talk more about that later on, but I definitely have had some faith struggles, and I'm going to be completely transparent about that. I'm a believer. I have always been, you know, prayerful. I know I'm a child of God. I've read, reading devotionals in the Bible. That's always been very important to me. And I've struggled. I know I've had some depression, but my faith, I've lost some faith. I've even had some anger at God. Just there's been a lot of things going on with me. I'm not proud of it, but I'm just telling you that this is real life. And I think most Christians, most believers, you go through periods of your life like that, and I'm in one. I don't like it. I want to get out of it, but for now, I'm in it. So I'm working through a lot of things with that too. So, you know, just trying to get that peace back in my life. So there you have it. So you're going to see this next year ways that I'm going to function in this home, that I can still enjoy my home and the seasons and all that's going on, but I can enjoy it. I can enjoy it on an easier way with less stress, keeping my peace, not having so much stuff to deal with, and being able to get to it better. So, decluttering, reorganizing things for easy access, and peace. Those are my three things. So, I'm excited. I cannot wait to get started. I'm just chomping at the bits to get this decluttering going. But I want to end this video by sharing with you kind of how I transitioned into some winter decor. I did get rid of a huge bag full of January things because I thought this is ridiculous, too much again. I've condensed it now to just one little tub. And so, yeah, let me share with you some of the things that I did put up for January. I'm loving it so much. So this is my mantle, much cleaner than it was before. Very simple. These are one of my little foxes that I bought at the thrift store. If you remembered seeing those earlier, they were from Hobby Lobby. I think they were like, I can't remember how much they were there, but I got them for $2.50 at the thrift store. A mirror that I already had. I like this mirror for fall and winter. And then I already had my candlesticks up there. It's just calming, clean, makes me smile. And then this little garland I already had just to give it a little extra, winter tie-in. And then this is the piece that I bought at a thrift store recently. I just wanted to see if it would fit there, and I think it's so pretty there. I am going to get some battery-operated candles to go in it, and I'm just going to play around with that a little bit. One little winter bird up here on my shelves, and then I just put things back on them that would normally go here. I do have a little snowflake back there, but didn't do a whole lot there, just kept it very simple. And then this is on my coffee table. I think his little star came off of that, but just a little snowman, this little tree, and then got one little winter snowflake bead down there. Very clean and simple, and I really like it. I really do. On my shelves, of course, I just cleared everything down for Christmas that was up there, and I had a couple of these little wooden snowmen. I put those. This was one from a thrift store, and just added a little bit of greenery, a wreath up there, just a few little touches. And I like that because, again, it's just very calming. It's simple, but I think it's really pretty. And on my island, I changed out my runner. I think this runner came from Walmart maybe last year. It was on one of their clearance. I haven't seen it since then, but I just love the blues and the whites. And then I love the snowman. It was my mother-in-law gave it to me. It was hers, maybe even her mother's. I don't know, but I just think it's so pretty for winter. And I like him just right here on this little stand. Very simple and clean. Just a little touch, just enough. And then on this table, turn the light on. I just kept the same little tray I had, this little owl, and then just my candlesticks. Again, simple and clean. And this was a runner I already had. Really loving that. This little deer and her fawn there. This little thing was my mom's, and I usually pull it out in the winter. Didn't change a whole lot over there. And I kept my little tray that I had out at Christmas, and just little wreath I already had, salt and pepper shakers, this little winter house. And I actually got this from my mother-in-law for a Christmas party after Christmas, so I put that down there. Just, again, simple, but just some soft little touches. So if you've watched for a while, you know how much I love my plate rack, and of course I put other things in it besides plates. This has been one of my favorite things to decorate the past few months, and again, it's just clean and simple, and I love it. So this is my other little fox that I got at the thrift store. He came from Hobby Lobby. They had him priced for $5, and I got him for 50% off of that, so that was $2.50. one of my candles there, plates that I already had. I already had these cute little winter skates. I think these came from Target. Oh gosh, I don't know, years ago at their little bullseye section. So I thought those were pretty for winter. Just put a little bit of greenery there with a touch of blue to tie that blue in. And then this brown charger I already had, so I put one of my wooden snowflakes on it, and then just that little wreath there for a little touch of greenery. So again, I love this. One of my favorite things to decorate. All my little very subtle, calming winter things. And I did keep this one little winter pillow here because this is as you come in the back door, you see this coming in and out. So I thought that would be a sweet place for it. And I pretty much left this area bare. I took down all the Christmas stuff that I had. I left these candlesticks up there. And then I had this cute little snowman. So I just put him up just for a little bit of winter. And this was the runner I already had. So again, simple, but I still get a little touch of it without being so much. And this is my little hutch that's in the back hallway. I think instead, I still haven't done glass in it, but I'm kind of thinking, y'all, that I'm just going to take these door frames off. I think I told Trent to look at it to see. I couldn't tell, it's still covered in paint, but I think that would be, I like it open, and I would open it all the way, but this one hits the door, so it's not even, and that drives me crazy. But anyway, I think that's what I'm going to do with it. But I did add just a few little things back here. Let me close this. I don't want to knock these down. These little toboggans, this little garland, Caroline actually made probably when she was in middle school. And I think it looks sweet hanging up there. And then I just added this little plate, which she got me one year. I've got just a little white tree down here with a little house, a couple of the little white stars, and then my little mittens here, and then another little white tree. This I just got at a thrift store this weekend for $2, and it just added so much down there around that picture. So yeah, it's really pretty. It's very subtle and it's soft. And then I had this little tin with the snowflakes. I think I got that at Walmart, but it's been years ago. So I felt like, it all just went really well together. So I like this area. Very, very little and very soft. In my laundry room, I have these little frames, and I typically like to just hang a little something there. So I put a couple of little snowflakes on those. And these little snowmen were actually ornaments I found last year, I think. And I just put those on my little shelf in the laundry room because I just wanted a little something. And in here, I just put these cute little snowmen, snow ladies, on the back of the toilet in that little tray. And that is it. Of course, I use a little hand towel here and there, but for the most part, that's it. Thank you for joining me today, guys. I am glad that you are with me as I'm starting this new little change in my channel. If you kind of have felt that way, let me know. I'm looking for ideas to make things a little simpler. And if you've been on that path yourself, or you're feeling kind of the same way that I am, let's do this together. We're going to make things a little bit better for us in 2026. Make sure you subscribe, share all the things, and be watching, because we start this big, massive decluttering. I hope it's going to be in the garage, and that great switcheroo on the next video. So I'll see you then.